Last time on Fantasy Friends, the friends fought with the undead creatures that attacked them and the remaining preserver in Austria. They dealt with them fairly well and mostly unscathed. With the portal still open, what lies in store for our mates this time? Why don't we find out on this episode of Fantasy Friends?
The portal's still open.
The portal is still open. And, yeah, with your passive perception, you see the same thing that you saw from the other things near the portal. So where that whatever happened just before that thing went through the portal, you see kind of like this dust or specks come up into the air.
Aragon? Where are these?
In front of the portal.
These dust and specks after the thing, but the portal's still open.
But the portal, yes, but the portal is still open. Bleh.
You're saying I've seen these dust specks before?
Yeah, with the pale skinned creatures, you see them turn
when they died.
When they died.
Oh,
and the same thing happened with these undead creatures. Did the same thing.
Yeah. I thought you were meaning it was another portal. I saw this, but I get it now. Okay. You still on initiative order, or
no? You're out of initiative. The fight has concluded because all of the other creatures have died or just been destroyed. Basically, August walks up and approaches you, Tristan and Bendane, and
when they do that, when that happens, and I see all that disappear, I'm yelling for them. Hey, the portal's over here, and this thing just dove in. Run up here, like trying to get them to come up there with me.
Okay. As August approaches you two, you hear through the woods Lachlan yelling what you just heard, and you all three look over in that direction, and then August says, I believe I am the only one left of this chapter. I have to go down and do some damage control. I want to go with you, but I have to figure out if I'm the only one left. And I have to figure out what to do from here.
Bendin says, find Rascal in the town, and she can relay any information that you find to us. And he'll start jogging up to Lachlan by the portal.
Good luck to you.
And I follow behind.
Where we're going, we don't need luck.
Alright. You all...
We just need someone more skilled than you, Bendane. Just
Wow.
So when they get up there, my first reaction is, all right, I just saw him go through the portal. Everybody disappeared when he did. Should we follow him through the portal to see where they went?
Bendane grabs his phone and sends a text to Melrose, and he says, hey, do you like bells? Because he's thinking he's going to grab that bell from that thing from Melrose. Then he puts his phone back in his pocket.
Okay. So you three... So I'm jumping into kind of a cinematic. So you three are standing, and this portal... It's like almost the height of the trees, like just before the canopy. This thing is just kind of the pine needles and the leaves are just kind of swirling around it, not in an extreme way, but very just kind of swirling around this portal, and it's just massive. And you can see, you almost can see more trees through it, as if there's a forest through there, and you see kind of this,
There's a forest through the trees.
yeah, and almost
Okay.
like this fog, but you
Poetic.
can't tell. You don't know if it's a portal obscuring what you're seeing, but there's like this kind of like this dark fog, and you're just kind of standing there. And do you all go through?
Bendane votes yes.
Let's do it. Need to figure out what's behind this, and we're only going to be able to do it if we stop one of these things. And get it down. Let's go, boys. I'll go first this time. And I just start running. I chuck him through there with my great sword in hand.
As
Can
Bendane,
I
oh, go ahead.
attempt to trip Bendane as he goes for the portal?
I guess you could.
I'd
It's
like
just
to
like
attempt it.
a dexterity. What do you call it? When both
Um,
people roll and the one who rolls highest wins, or
I would say whatever's highest, your athletics, acrobatics, or dexterity
contest. That's what it was.
versus. I don't know if it'd be sleight of hand.
Say it's just a Tristan does an acrobatics or athletics versus Bendane's dexterity.
Yeah, I guess that would be.
Or would it be my
Yeah.
athletics, since
'Cause
I'm the
you'd
one who's
be-
trying to catch myself from? It's a
It's
24.
like
Oof.
yeah. I don't think I can manage that. Nope. It's an 8.
You try to trip Bendane and he looks back and then just flicks you in the ear.
It's like he saw it coming a mile away. So after those shenanigans, just before you go through the portal, Bendane, you feel your pants vibrate, and then you go through, and you have no idea yet what what that was about. And as
The
you
weird
go
part is the vibration came from the opposite pocket of the.
He came from the front. Oh, did I forget to turn that off?
Dang.
a Tildonic device.
Oh Lord. All right. Let's flavor text bomb you. As you go through the portal, you come out into almost the same exact type of woods, dark and a bit uneasy from the situation. It's hard to get your bearings when your sight is reduced from the lack of ambient light. There's a light breeze that feels a bit cold, but you assume it's from the elevation. It takes you a moment because, like I said, there's this definite fog, but it's not a normal fog. It's almost as if it's dark. There's something to it. And then you're able to, it takes a moment, but you're able to come out of the woods and onto a road that you find. So you come out of the woods onto a road that is perpendicular to another. Both are dirt roads and seem to have had a fair amount of traffic. Some grass grows here and there on them. You now see why it has been so dark in the woods. There is this gloom, this dark fog, not misty, but switching from lighter and thicker with a chill that has an ominous feel. It makes your hair stand up and has you thinking that this gloom might be alive. It seems to blot out most light of all forms. Brushing all of that aside, you walk down the road. To your left, you glance over and see quite a bit of woods, and then a kind of solitary cottage. It looks dark and seems as if no one lives there. You can see maybe farmland on the opposite side of the perpendicular road you approach. As you scan to your right side, you see another house nearby. A very simple wood cottage with what looks like light glowing through the window that faces you. You see a shed or smaller building behind that house, and glancing through the gloom past that, there seems to be a village. And now, what do you do, fellas? And as I say that,
So just to. Oh.
let me kind of zoom it out. And so you see this.
As you're pulling that out, just so I understand, so we went through the portal
The players.
up on this fog and forest.
Yes.
Does it seem like it's a different country? Does it seem like a totally different like place than Austria?
So in
Or do I look around and it's like German buildings still, or is it like all of a sudden looks like African huts? You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it looks like the same. Well, so to speak, it looks like the same place that you left, except like 200 some plus years into the past.
oh dear.
What was that?
It was a sneeze. My bad. I tried to mute my thing in time, but I didn't get it.
Frightening.
I thought you had a heart attack.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, so it
200 years ago.
looks, yeah, like yeah,
Get you.
like
Okay. No, I understand.
quite a long time ago that these buildings, they look from what you know and what you've seen of the German architecture or the Austrian architecture, it looks similar, but there's kind of slight differences. So I believe you guys can see it now. The fog of war is lifted. I reveal some of this. So right here, so you reach the intersection of the two roads. So it kind of makes this T, and so we'll call to your right north, to your left south, and straight ahead will be west, and then behind you where you came from will be east. So behind you is a fairly big size woods, a forest. To your right or to the north, like I said, you see a cottage with right around here you see a shed or something. Further past that, it looks like there is a establishment, some quite a bit of buildings which seem to create a village. To your left or south, down the other side of the dirt road, you see, like I said, that kind of dark, ominous cottage. And then straight ahead or to your west, what looks to be like farmland. But it don't, because of the gloom, it almost feels like it's just everything is a little bit off. Like the plants don't look good. They look a little bit sickly from what you can see. Like the buildings, or at least some of the buildings, look okay from the distance that you're at, but there's just like these slight differences that are creating this eerie feel to everything. Certain things are not feeling right, like the gloom is affecting everything.
I'm sorry. Where are we again? I was having trouble because my system was causing you to break up a little bit. Right there. Okay.
Right there. You're right at the intersection of those two dirt roads.
Gotcha.
The dirt road that you that, like I said, it was perpendicular. That to the right goes to that village, or what you assume is village. To the left goes down to just further out. But it looks the same. It feels, when you breathe, it feels like you're at a higher elevation, like you were when you, on the opposite side of the portal, you feel that kind of chill, like you are definitely still in the mountains. I'm not going to say exactly for sure if you are where you're at, but that's what you feel like right now. That you might be in the same place, you just don't know. What the heck is that? Is that your chips?
It's not me.
Is that your sour
Oh.
cream and onion?
The 20
probably me.
bags of chips he had.
I'll be right back. I go to the bathroom real quick.
All right.
Can we just wave our hands and clear the gloom? Is it like a like a smog?
No, imagine a rainy, cloudy sky. It's a darker, and then add in this fog that just Like if you can imagine the spell darkness, but not as powerful and chaotic, where it's like where it goes in and out. So like you start to see something, then you don't, and then it goes in and out. So that's why I'm kind of calling it this gloom or fog.
Okay. All right. Where are we going?
I don't know. You tell me.
I am asking the boys. Where are we going, fellas? What should we look at first?
Is there a gift shop nearby?
I don't know. You tell me.
There
Let's
is,
just find
and
them.
they sell lots of really nice trinkets and
Yep.
also machine guns.
They have tons and tons of cuckoo clocks.
I say we go up to this first building just to the north of us. This one right here. And see. We see.
You can go to the cottage.
We're doing it.
I'm going to go up to it, but like, are there like windows on the side?
Yes, like I said, the window facing you has a light glowing, like flickering. It doesn't take you long to get to the front, so there is a door facing the road. And
I'm not going to the door. I'm going up to the window to look inside.
well, as you approach the window, the door flies open, and then out of the door, you see what looks to be a man that you can't quite tell, and then all of a sudden they trip over the steps and fall down onto the road, and then as you approach the window, you peek in, and what you see is it's like this big open living room with a fireplace in the center and kind of like these cots that you could it's almost like futons where you can switch them from like a couch to a bed, and then you see a woman. So like there's these two where the fireplace is, it kind of splits this room in half to where one side you can kind of see through these that there's two openings on either side that go kind of back into what looks to be kind of a bedroom. And then from the opposite side, you see this elf woman walking towards the front door, and she looks kind of cranky, and she looks like she might be pregnant. And yeah, that's what you see. I don't know if anybody's like by the door, but that's what you see right now. There's just kind of very not sparse. It looks like a nice little home.
Okay. So I peek through. I head to the front. Say, hello, my friend. What's your name?
To the guy that fell down?
Yeah, he's outside, right?
Yes. He struggles to get up, but you can tell that something is off. And he stands up and turns to you. You can see that he looks undead. And then he tries to wave at you, and his hand kind of breaks. like he's kind of like wiggling a broken hand at you.
Ew.
With like this weird, gross, toothy look, and then all of a sudden he hears this kind of the woman saying like, "What are you doing outside? You can't be out in this. There's nothing to till. There's nothing to, there's nothing to do. We can't. We have to just sit inside and wait till this passes over." And then she looks over and sees you three, and it's like, "What? Who are you? What are you doing here?"
We're lost.
It's not a great time to be lost in these areas. Please come inside. Come inside, and you too. And she points right at the zombie, basically. And he kind of turns to her and goes, And she said, "You heard me." And then she says to you three, she says, "Get inside right now." And so she tries to help. She tries to help the zombie up the steps.
It's just he kind of stands farther away. Is like, is that safe? That doesn't seem safe.
He's fine. Just come on. I'll tell you. I'll try to tell you what's going on. I don't know exactly myself, but come on in. And then she just drags him in because has trouble with his motor skills. Do you follow her in?
I will be the last one in.
Yeah, Bantane will follow.
Okay.
Bantane is always down.
Bringing zombies into your house. Get out of here.
So as you as you walk in, you see her kind of help him sit down, and you notice that as he's by the fire, he seems to kind of, like, what's the word? I guess, like, get better. Like he doesn't look as zombie-ish. And then she kind of gives this like, all right. Do y'all want some? Do you want some cider?
No.
No.
Dang, that was quick.
Okay.
I don't want to eat anything next to a zombie.
I thought you were always down.
I mean, like down to hang out and stuff, but I'm not. Nope. Bendane reaches into his pocket kind of slowly and pulls out like a handkerchief and holds it to his nose.
Well, it's kind of weird. He doesn't really smell.
That is weird.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, can you please tell me what's going on? Because he looked one way outside and a different way inside. What is going on here?
Well, all we can really tell is it has something to do with this fog, or it's been a few months now, and it's been
1 week since you looked. No, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been affecting people differently. So my husband, this is my husband. Sorry, this is Nim. I'm Aletha, and we usually tend to the farm here, or the farms, but we can't really do much because this gloom keeps affecting the crops and the cattle. And like I said, it's affecting certain people differently. I haven't been really affected. I don't know if it's because we're about to have another child.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Are you sure you don't want
So-
some cider, or we got some?
Is he responsible for that? And Bendane points at the zombie.
What, Nim, my husband? No.
Yeah.
No.
Wait. Oh, well, so your husband is not the one who got you pregnant?
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it's been more than half a year. So like,
he wasn't the zombie.
This was before he was a zombie.
Okay, I was really
Yes.
confused for a second.
Yeah. This has been recent. What's going? She kind of motions to him, and like this kind of like overall, this guy, this situation, this has been happening, more recent within the past few months, but it started almost half a year ago, and just
Right around the same time you got pregnant.
I mean, I've had 3 other kids before this, so I don't think it's that.
Is there any danger of the child being affected by all of? Then I kind of motion with my hand. This.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mainly stay indoors. We've noticed that if you stay indoors and usually by a fire, it tends to help. The light, I guess. We're still trying to figure it out, and we're still trying to figure out what caused. We're pretty sure it's this gloom, or that's what we're calling it. We don't know what's going on, but
You know if there's any origin from the gloom? Is it coming from a place? Coming from a location? A direction?
no, not really. There have been rumors about the Baron, but he hasn't really shown himself.
What are the rumors that are going around?
Well, see, he founded this village.
What's the name of this village?
Ma'am, you don't know the name of your own village. This is
Hey.
embarrassing.
Chill out. Where is it? Where did I put it? Oh,
Bendane
Oromar.
knows now that she's lying.
The
'Cause it took her
name,
that long
the
to
name of
figure.
the village is Oromar, and Bendane, since you somehow magically know Elvish, you know that means lofty dwelling or lofty home.
It's a nice name.
Oh yeah, the Baron named it that. Yeah, he lost his wife a few years ago, and he kind of secluded himself in his manor, and some people are saying that it's possible he may have been dabbling with really dark arts, but I mean they're just rumors. We don't know for sure.
Well, we're about to find out. Aren't we,
What are?
boys?
Who? Well,
I'd
who
be
are
curious
you?
if I could talk to the Baron. Where exactly is the Baron live?
He lives in the manor.
Which way is that?
House.
It's a little bit north of the village. You just
Excellent.
go to the village and you go a little bit north, and I mean you can't really miss it unless the gloom kind of blocks your sight.
Is that a thing?
What is what a thing?
The gloom can block your vision here.
Have you not noticed? So where are you all coming from?
Not important.
Not important.
Yeah, it's a small
mean-
town just west of Nobody Cares.
Hmm. You know, nobody likes band manners, there, sir.
We're from a place you've never heard of, I promise you.
We haven't got a whole lot of visitors ever since this started.
We are here to help.
Oh, so you're
But
adventurers?
Yes, let me ask you a question. So you mentioned the name of your village is Oromar. This may sound a little odd, but what world am I on?
What world are you on?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what other people call the planet, but
Do you call it?
I would just call it home, I guess.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
I guess you could ask somebody in the village. They might have a different name for it.
I want to look around as she's talking, and does this just look like a normal home? Like just straight up, like
Yeah, there's like
out of the ordinary?
furs, like deer furs, and just kind of antlers, different things. Kind of what's the word? Not ordain. Just kind of make up the whole place. You know, like I said, there's
Decorations.
the decorations, different little things. No real like pictures or photos, but there's little paintings of different things, and she kind of blocks you from going into the bedroom area just because it's kind of, you know, that's their personal space. But yeah, there's just little shelves for just spices and stuff, and there's a pot on the fireplace that you can tell is just kind of an old school medieval pot for stews, and they've got little just jugs and knickknacks, pretty much just things that you would need day to day for like food or spices or whatever.
can you describe the knickknacks in order of which ones would be most appealing to Melrose? I'm just kidding.
This isn't a store.
Well, I wasn't thinking of buying them.
You're just gonna jack this old lady's stuff.
She doesn't look old. Oh, so Aletha is in kind of colonial-looking attire. She has
That's hot.
deep reds, scheme, like color scheme. She has brown hair up in a bun. For an elf, you can't really tell their age, but obviously she looks adult. but you can't tell her age. She doesn't look really middle age-ish. And then Nim, you can't really tell because he's still a little bit zombie-ish, but he's wearing kind of simple farmer attire in hues of blue, and seems to have short hair, but you can't really tell the color because it's a little bit like grayish, kind of faded color. So you can't
And
really
they're
tell.
human?
They're both
She's
elves.
they're Elvis, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You said Nim, right, with an N, like Nancy.
Yes, Nim.
Okay.
Nym. So Nevada, York, Miami.
Does he also hold a secret?
Shut up. Dang it. I didn't even think of that.
He doesn't hold much of anything with his hands falling off all the time.
No, that's true.
Yeah. Especially when you fall out of your own house.
Right.
So Aletha says, well, just be careful out there. There's one thing I will tell you, that most of the zombies are fairly harmless, but I would watch out for the skeletons. They tend to just attack you. There are I would probably be careful of the graveyard. There's a lot of ghouls that are encroaching in the area, which is kind of a travesty. They start to get into the graves and start eating. It's not good.
Gross.
Some people have turned into ghosts. That can be pretty bad too. You've noticed they get kind of cranky, so just be careful of that.
Doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in the town who's not been affected?
Lorray and our one son, Ryfan, and I think Feislin, but I don't know where Feislin is either.
Is your son home?
Ryfan, last time we saw him, he was out hunting. So if anything, he is either out in the forest or he might be in the village, trying to help out.
When was the last time you saw him?
Ryfan?
Yeah.
It's been a few days. He kind of checks in on us, especially with Nim being in, his shape, and me being pregnant. He checks on us at least, once a week.
Okay. But he doesn't live here then?
No. He's
okay, gotcha.
He's old enough to live on his own. Sometimes he comes by and takes a break, but most of the time.
And you haven't been affected by the gloom, right? Like, obviously you haven't turned into a zombie like your husband.
Not at all.
Why do you think that is?
I mainly stay indoors. Ever since I was pregnant, I've been staying indoors. So we were assuming that would be why, because we keep the door shut and the lights are on. We always keep lanterns lit and the
Yeah, I
fireplace.
guess that would make sense, but you said that your son hasn't been affected either, but he apparently goes out hunting for days on end, so...
Well, like I said, we don't really know how it's affecting people, and we can only guess. Guess is trial and error. Maybe this is working, maybe it isn't, but
pretty bad guess if you ask me, but alright.
You're being a really huge right now.
This poor lady.
That's Yale saying that.
Far
That's
with his
not-
personality since the beginning.
Yeah.
From the guy who stole an apple from an old lady.
I was gonna
so-
say,
yeah.
have you met Bendane?
Right. Forgot. Forgive me for forgetting.
All right, so needing to obviously, I'm kind of just talking out loud to these guys. Like, we're obviously needing to go to the Baron's house. It sounds like.
Sure.
Okay. So we need to go through town. I'm going to ask. What was her name again? I forget.
Aletha.
Letha, you mentioned staying away from the graveyard. Where exactly is the graveyard so I can stay away from it?
Yeah, so
Can you point it out on our map?
you don't.
Letha, if you just hold down the mouse.
Oh goodness.
Oh God.
So if you go to the village, take this road straight up to the village. There'll be the main road. So if you take the road right, that will take you towards the manor, which is the Baron's house. But if you go left and follow that road, there is the mountain that kind of stretches towards the village. Well, around that, that's where we put the graveyard, kind of further away from the village.
I see.
I would
Okay.
tend to keep dead things away from the village as well. And he looks over at Nim. What time is it anyway in the game? That's Bendane asking.
In the game?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Oh. Like we don't know if it's daytime or night or...
No, like I said.
Because of the fog, we don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So you
Bendane asks Olatha, hey, do you happen to have the time?
Oh yeah, let me get my sundial out. And she just stares at you.
Touche.
Get right back at you there, Bendane. I like this girl.
Touche. Do you think he's trying to figure out, like, is everybody in the town like asleep like right now? Like, is right now the best time to be going through the town, or should we wait until quote unquote morning?
There's always, I will say this: there's always going to be somebody awake.
NPCs never sleep.
But just because of how this has affected everything, like we can't tell where the sun is at, so we just kind of, or where the moon is at, so we just kind of get our sleep when we can, and then
really messing with your circadian rhythm, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that means, but probably along the same lines of yes, it's affecting whatever that is. Yes,
that's fair. Okay.
Here, and then she grabs, I don't know, just some provisions, a little bit of, she pours some stuff into some flasks, and then she just kind of wraps them up, and then gives you each a little, like, basically just like a little lunch, like provisions or whatever. So you could just.
Thank you, ma'am. We really appreciate it. I am pretty
Bendane smells it.
It's like it smells like really fresh bread, and if you pop open the flask, it smells like apple cider.
Oh, she's gonna get you with the cider yet.
We're really famous for it. Well, that and our beer.
Nice.
Now you're speaking my language.
Is there a tavern in town, ma'am, where we could try that beer?
Well, we do have the inn. You can stop there. They're almost fully stocked.
Happen to have a red roof.
It actually does.
Excellent. I was just curious. As a tall man, I kind of saw it.
Well, you are fairly tall, and I just now realized.
Also fairly ugly. Yeah, we hear that a lot.
Oh no!
About him, I mean.
Orcs being ugly. That's very rude. We actually have an orc in the village. His father was a really great adventurer.
Until he took an arrow to the knee.
Although I've never met a fox. Are you a fox?
Something of the sort, yes.
Yeah, I've never seen. I don't know what to call you. I've never seen a fox before. Well.
And how do you know what to call it?
The U type of fox. I don't know what to. Well, I don't know what to call it. I'm just trying not to be rude.
I am extremely offended. No, I'm kidding.
Well, boys, good luck. If you can figure out, if you want to figure out what's going on here, just be careful. Don't get into too much trouble, and just watch out. Like I said, watch out for those skeletons and the ghouls. Those are the most nasty ones.
Okay, thanks, Mom. Bendane starts making his way to the door.
Thank you, ma'am, for your hospitality.
She nods to you. Nim is just kind of like leaning back and just kind of puts up his arm and starts waving. And as he starts waving, you kind of hear like the bones snap and crackle. It's really gross sounding.
Bendane
big.
waves
Looking him in the
back
face.
more
and go-
enthusiastically.
I just like, bye, creepy man.
Tristan suppresses a gag.
All
All
right.
right. So actually, before we leave, like I get out of my backpack and take out a torch and light it in their fire and take it outside with me.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Bendane
Obviously,
looks at
it's
you and
fire
just
seems
nods.
to, like,
Tristan blows it out.
With
I'm gonna need you to make a
prestidigitation?
lung check.
Lyle immediately turns and slaps Tristan in the back of the head.
You know, I've never thought of this before. Bendane casts animal handling.
Oh
That
my
doesn't work
gosh.
on me.
Sorry, Tristan, you're gonna have to run a check on that.
Yeah, it is a torch. It's not going to be that simple.
I rolled an
thought
8 for animal handling.
I thought you were gonna roll or use prestidigitation.
Oh yeah, I could use prestidigitation and just go like snap my fingers and it goes out. Whoops.
Oh, okay. So I got a torch and then I lost it. Excellent.
It's like
And
a
I can relight it.
It's like a rinse.
Snap
and
your
repeat,
fingers
like-
again and light it again.
Yeah.
Before we all
How
turn
about-
into zombies.
How about you say please?
Jeez.
Both of you guys. Okay. Snap my fingers.
I was gonna say Bendane rears his leg back to kick him in the.
I was actually waiting for him to make it more difficult. So he was like, please. And I'm like, oh, well, there goes my whole speech.
Hey friends, thank you to Brian Sanishin for the intro and outro. BrianSanysHyn. Find him on Fiverr and his website. Find us on Instagram and YouTube, like and subscribe. We're also on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, and Amazon Music. Send us an email of NPC names, items, or ideas at fantasyfriendspc@gmail.com. That is fantasyfriends, P as in puppy, C as in cat, @gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and please tell everyone you can about the podcast. We do not pay to advertise, so hack the satellite systems that have laser beams and drill holes into the earth that state, listen to Fantasy Friends. And so when people go on Google Earth or any map, they will see on the satellite pictures that somewhere on Earth it says Fantasy Friends RPG. Listen to it now. And the next episode should be up in about 2 or 3 weeks. All right.